Today it's Monday, April the 25th, 2022. I want to welcome you to Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And today I have with me my guardian angel, John, and he wants to talk about the function of fear. And he's put in parenthesis here, your body is protecting you. That is the function of fear. He's going to get into some details about that. Good morning. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. We're watching and witnessing spring come to life here in beautiful Toronto, Canada. So I hope that you are experiencing a wonderful day with yourself right now. Wonderful. Yeah. Let's see who we got coming in here with us today. Remember, if you're new to this channel, remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, give this video a thumbs up if you like the material you see. We are at a very powerful time in human evolution. It's called the Ascension. It is an actual, real event. It's an alteration and a change in our energy as a species. Likewise, there are corresponding changes going on with planets and stars and the galaxy that we exist in. In fact, the entire universe is undergoing this process of ascension in different ways, times, spaces, and locations. But my guardian angel John said it was really important at this time. And I want to tell you a bit about John. John first came to me when I was 20 years old, and I was literally going to jump off a bridge here in Toronto called the Bloor Viaduct. And I heard a voice speak to me, say, "Do not jump. Get off the bridge, go to the payphone, call this phone number, ask for this man," which I did. I felt somewhat liberated when a voice spoke to me and said, "Not jump." I could not identify the voice. And it wasn't until about 5 years ago that I realized, when I started getting connected to these different beings, that this was my guardian angel John, and he's been with me my entire life. There are other angels and archangels that are with all of us, if we can just but learn to hear. Anyway, John, thank goodness he communicated this action to me, because it brought me to this place where I'm with you now, today. And the only function of fear, he says, is it's a function of your body trying to protect you from real or imagined threats to your body. He says most humans do not have very many real threats to their body as often as they have imagined threats to their body. Even what you hold in your mind can be perceived by your body as a threat to you. And this was fascinating to consider that even something we hold in our mind, our body can interpret as a threat to itself. And so you might find yourself living or being in fear, but it is simply your body reacting to something you're either perceiving with your 5 physical senses, or something you're actually imagining in your own mind, or something that's been put in your mind to cause your mind to believe there's some sort of a threat. But he says the only function of fear is to protect your body so that it can exist, it can survive, it can thrive. He says it's really important that you consider this in the sphere of your own survival apparatus of your body. That is all fear serves, to preserve and protect the vehicle that you utilize while you're here learning the process of creation. Even if you hold a thought in your mind, even if that thought is false, but if you hold a thought in your mind that is perceived by the body as a threat, let us say you hold a thought that somebody is going to hurt you. Even though nobody is going to hurt you, the mere thought that somebody may hurt you can cause your body to react with fear, because the body cannot distinguish between real or imagined conditions of experience. It will interpret what is in your mind as if it is an actuality in the world around you. I would encourage you to turn away from any information that would falsely instill fear in your mind. Please learn to make the distinction between you as a beautiful soul and your body as the vehicle that you utilize as the mechanism of experience for this world. but remove from your mind all of these things that would stimulate false fear for your body to react and respond to. Your body is an instrument. It is not you. It is an instrument that you use, and albeit if something happens to that instrument, you cannot function in this dimension in the same fashion that you currently do using an instrument of matter which can function in the world of matter. You have this other realm of information called thought that affects matter. And there are those in this world that understand this relationship. They understand that the function of fear is your body's mechanism to protect itself from real or imagined conditions that could possibly harm your body. They understand that if they placed information in your mind that would stimulate fear, that your body will immediately go into an energy that you call fear, and it will distract you from your higher functions of self. That is your ability to distinguish between your thoughts, your body, and your awareness as united mechanisms working together, but they have each unique and different functions. The functions of your awareness as an extension of your soul is significantly different than the function of thought in relation to your body. From the perspective of awareness, you can begin to alter and change thought so that you are not bombarding the body with false fear. Many of the mass media mechanisms that you see today are bombarding your biological senses with information that stimulates a false fear. Telling you you may or may not have something causes the body to react from the perspective of its survival. The body needs things in order to live and to exist. And if you have a thought that you may not get what you need or want, then your body will react with the energy of fear. Its function of fear is to protect and preserve. And that fear can manifest as a process of avoidance or a process of aggression. Those are the two primary functions of fear as actions for your body to preserve itself. Your conventional psychologies call them fight or flight. But they are simply, in the last analysis, your body's simplistic function and mechanism to preserve and protect its existence so that you can utilize it as a matter of learning the art of creation in this dimension of matter, time, and space. I would encourage you to remove anything from around you that unnecessarily stimulates fear. There are many right now in this world that are benefiting from you being in your fear, and they attempt to keep you in that fear. There are many things that you can watch that are stimulating the body's survival apparatus, giving it the illusion that it is under threat. Even watching something on a TV screen can stimulate the survival mechanism of your body, and you find yourself living in fear, and you sometimes wonder, why am I afraid for no reason at all? But the thought has been placed in your mind that you should be afraid of your friends and your neighbors, that you should be afraid of your government, you should be afraid of money, you should be afraid of everything. This is nonsense. Your body cannot distinguish the illusion from the real. It has no capacity to do that. It can simply respond and react to information provided to its senses, and it cannot distinguish between the realm of thought, which is invisible to the senses, but the body does not recognize that distinction. It will interpret thought as if it is an actuality in time and space. Even if you perchance give thought to something wrong might happen, your body will begin to be stimulated into that fear response, which again is simply a mechanical apparatus of energy to protect and preserve its existence in this physical dimension. If you begin to understand that the only function of fear is to protect and preserve your physical mechanism so that you can utilize it and exist through it, that its only function is to preserve and protect the existence. That is the true function of fear from the perspective of your body, to preserve and protect the existence of the form. You, as the beautiful awareness that you are, if you begin to understand that the awareness that you are is separate and distinct in its relationship with the body and with thoughts. Whereas your body does not have the capacity to distinguish between fantasy and reality, you as awareness do have that capacity, but very, very few of you have learned to exercise that level of awareness. Many of you find yourselves watching things in the world and lying in bed at night and find your mind chattering on fearfully and fretfully, afraid to go to sleep because your body has got these thoughts, these images, these memories running around in it that it believes are true, and it's reacting and responding. So it does not want to go to sleep. You do not have a problem going to sleep. You have a problem turning your mind off so that your body is not distracted by the illusions of fear. That does not mean that there are not things in this world that are naturally healthy for your body to remind you, do not step in front of that car, do not step in front of that train, do not jump off that building. Your body is very versed in the realities of those fears, but your mind cannot distinguish between the reality of those fears and the thoughts in your mind. It interprets both of those realms as if they are real, and only you, beautiful soul, only you as awareness can make that distinction for your mind and body, saying to your body, no, this is just a TV show that you are watching. This is just words. These are just pictures. They are not real. Only you can train your body to make the distinction between fantasy and reality. How is it you think that people can jump out of planes with a great cloth over their head? How do you think they can do that? Because they have trained the body to overcome that fear, saying, this is a device that will keep you safe. And they train their body to no longer be subjective to its natural impulses of fear. And until you are awake and aware to this reality, you will continue to find your mind and body subjective to the illusions of fear rather than the truth of what is to be afraid of. That even that which you are afraid of can be transcended. But in the last analysis, it is important you simply understand that the only function of fear is to preserve and protect the existence of your biology from the perspective of the body. That you are not that body that you inhabit. It is an instrument that you use through this experience of learning and creating in time and space. Your body can only learn to transcend fears under your direct, conscious, intelligent guidance. It cannot overcome even the imaginary fears unless you teach it to make that distinction. That show that you are watching, that you see somebody, your hero, being hurt, is not real. There's no need to be afraid. It is simply a movie on a screen. But again, so many of you take for granted that your body will react to the information in your mind as equally as it will respond to the stimulus of this world. It cannot make that distinction between matter and thought. Your body does not have that capacity. It interprets thought as if it is equally true to the physical world. Only you as awareness can make that distinction. And many of you have not even learned to make that distinction between your awareness and your thoughts, so that you cannot instruct your body. You cannot instruct your body about what is true or what is false, because you believe in your own mind that you are these thoughts, that you are these memories, that you are these emotions, and you are bound by them, and you cannot make changes if you believe they are you. So please understand, as you begin to awaken to the reality that your body, that your thoughts, and you, while you may be working together, you are utilizing thought and matter as instruments in learning the act of creating, manifesting, producing. As you learn to comprehend that you are not the thoughts, you are the awareness that is aware of thoughts. You are not the body, you are the awareness that is aware that you are utilizing a physical instrument. As that awareness begins to become more conscious to you, as you become more aware of that reality, you will cease to be subjective to the bombardment of false information presented to your mind, so that you can make that distinction for your body, so that it is not reacting to the things that it does not need to react to. and that you then can have the position in consciousness to begin to take your body beyond what it is familiar with as danger or safety, and you can take it into new expressions. There are many things that your children and others are learning to do that may never have been done, not in the lifetime of this one for sure, but there are things, places where there is no fear, because you have learned to transcend the body's subjectivity to those fears. When you as awareness are able to intentionally in each and every moment discern between thought and fantasy and instruct your body to understand very carefully that there is truth to one thing and not to another, your body will then loan itself to entrusting you to guide it safely through this dimension, and you will no longer have to be wholly dependent upon its simple mechanism of that which it does not understand, which many of you find yourself struggling with. Yes. So the only function of fear is to protect and preserve the existence of your biological mechanism. That's the only function of fear. And yet, yes, and yet we can transcend that function. I mean, look at people parachuting out of planes, or some of these skateboarding things where you saw a man going down a ramp in a wheelchair and doing a jump of like 150 feet through the air in a wheelchair. And there's an awakened soul, in spite of the potential dangers, training the body to do things beyond what it would normally allow itself to do. He's no longer subjective to his fears, no longer subjective to his guilt, no longer subjective to shame, no longer subjective to depression, because you realize that the emotions and thoughts are not who you are. They're instruments in the act of creation. Wow, thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Where are we? Live chat there. Hi, Allison. Hello, Marjorie. Hi, Adam. Hello, Jacqueline. Good to see you, darling. A question from Adam for Pan. When an egregos, I'm not sure what that word is created, what accounts for the specificity of manifestation that causes the spirit to take form a certain species, for example, shadow beings and elementals, etc. He's saying that is a pure matter of volition of each of these independent individuals. Your understanding must be more broadened to realize that the function of free will is not limited to humans. There are even insects that have a degree of free will, although you will find in the insect realm there's a level of higher function of cooperation than there is currently in the human realm. But all of these forms can, at some point in their volitional awareness, make changes in their expression and alter the dimensional frequencies at which they function on. It's very important. You, as a human, will alter the dimensional frequency that you function on when you come to understand the nature of your consciousness, that you are not simply that body that is hearing these words through, but that you are this intelligence that is able to alter and change the function of your expression through time, space, and matter. But that, again, requires a level of self-awareness, and that would be the defining element. If there is enough self-awareness, then there can be the transformation from one state to another, from one existence to another. You have done this for many lifetimes, have you not? You have been in many other forms, have you not? Do you not remember these? Oh, thank you so much, Adam. That's great. Well, it looks like we're in for a really short day today. Hi, Con. Good to see you, brother. So yeah, I'm really excited about this simplicity, that the function of fear is your body protecting you. That fear is not who and what we are. Here, fear is something that our body holds as a mechanism for its existence and survival, fight or flight, quite simply. There's no complexity to that. I want to thank my guardian angel, John, for coming by today. And I want to thank all of you for coming by today. And I'm looking forward to what's to come this week. We got this Wednesday, April the 27th. We've got What is Freedom with Archangel Michael. So I hope you'll come and join me on Wednesday with Archangel Michael on What is Freedom. Also, if you want, go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com. We've got our Mediumship 103 Masterclass beginning this Saturday. So there's lots of time to register between now and then. So you can go check that out. Also, if you want to support this channel, go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. And if you've enjoyed this video content today, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so you know when we come live every day. Every day we come live. And remember to give this video a thumbs up and share this information with other people. People need to understand that fear is not who you are. Everyone needs to know fear is a function of the body trying to protect itself. And I want to again thank my guardian angel John for being with me my entire life. It's pretty amazing. You are never, ever, ever alone. Ever. When you learn to get out of your own thoughts, out of the subjectivity of the body, you awaken yourself to the awareness that you are. There are beings that are at that frequency that you can connect to and communicate with and evolve with and learn from and grow through. It's a beautiful thing. I want to wish you all much, much love. Have yourselves a wonderful and joyful day. Kelly is saying, so fear of tornadoes is fine because it comes and goes with the physical activity, but fear of the unknown, they're the same thing. Your body can only react to anything based on that element. It's strictly a self-preservation element for the physical expression of that life in the body. You as awareness can make that distinction. Also, speaking of tornadoes, if you know people that live in tornado zones, tell them to go to a website called monolithic.org. That's monolithic.org. I'll put a link for that in the description box of this video. Monolithic.org. There is no reason people's homes should get blown away from tornadoes when we have the technology and the means as a human species to actually have structures that can comfortably and easily withstand the force of a tornado, even an F5 tornado. Anyway, go to that site if you know anybody living in a tornado zone, monolithic.org, and check out some of the incredible structures that are available to humanity. There's no need for your house to be huffed and puffed and blown all down. So please go to monolithic.org or tell anybody you know that lives in a tornado zone to go to monolithic.org and consider that type of building. It's a wonderful way. The old stick and broom houses don't work very well in that realm. And I know that those areas are very beautiful and you don't want to move. And so at least build a structure that can completely and fully withstand the effects of the wind and also make a much smaller carbon footprint on this planet by changing the type of material. Stop using trees to build homes, start using other things that are more effective. Anyway, I want to wish you all much love and thank you for your question, Adam. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Sophia, Mary. One last question from Christopher. Does collective thought create the potential for these thoughts to manifest? Thank you. Absolutely. We are in the collective unconsciousness of humanity is what is trying to be elevated up right now, but it has to be done as a matter of choice. The collective unconscious of humanity is what is generating all the war, all the conflict, all the fear. It's a collective unconscious process, but ultimately what John is saying about the reality that fear is primarily a function of the body trying to protect itself from real or imagined threats, because your body can't distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It can't. It doesn't have that capacity. It's strictly an animal instrument that you utilize when you're in this dimension of creation. Thank you for that question. Mary Ann Scott is asking us to address PTSD. That's a beautiful question, and yes, Archangel Michael is actually saying that this is something that needs to be addressed very understanding. It is important in order to begin to understand the distinction between your awareness and your biology. Those of you that have gone through physical traumas, have been involved in violence or involved in wars, Those of you who have gone through, your body has a great memory system in it. It cannot change or alter what it is in terms of function without your guidance. But if a previous trauma of the body will remember. And even what you hold in your mind as memories of events that have already passed, your body will still assume that what is in your mind is as real now as it was when it occurred originally. So you can remember an event and your body cannot make that distinction between what you remember and what is right now. It will interpret in your mind the actuality of what you're remembering as if it is a reality here and now. And if you can learn to teach or train your mind to release and let go of old memories, old fears, old experiences, learn to liberate those traumas from the memory system of the body, not to get rid of the memory, but to alter the electromagnetic charge, which we call emotion, to transform it, to release and liberate it from your body. You can overcome this process of PTSD. For PTSD is literally the recurrent memory of a past experience being re-articulated in the mind, and your body simply reacts to it as if it's an actuality now. Learn to make the distinction between your awareness and your thoughts and the instrument of your body. Learn as awareness to coordinate the way in which you allow your mind to think. Learn to coordinate the thought in your mind, to keep your awareness in this present moment, in this moment now with us. In this moment now with us, there is only this moment now with us. If you let your mind deviate back to a past and you remember that past, your body cannot make that distinction between the past or the present. Only you can instruct it to do so. This is the simplest way we can address this most sensitive issue, that memory will affect your body as if the event of the memory is occurring right now. And training yourself as an awareness to make the distinction between memory and being here in this present moment will enable you to liberate the body's attachment from these old memories and the emotions that are connected to them. That is the simplest way we can express this to you from our perspective. Remember, your body is the instrument. Your mind is an instrument. You are the awareness, the beautiful soul, here to utilize the process of thought in relation to its effect on matter to discover your potential to create and design a life of your own choosing. But until that place of differentiation between your awareness, your thought, and your emotion and your biology, until that differentiation occurs, you will remain subjective to your thoughts, to the emotions, and to the memories, and your body will react and respond to them as if they are real, even if they are already past. This one here has gone through it. This one went through what you call PTSD. He had a very traumatic childhood that allowed him to experience great suffering, and he had to learn to release and relinquish his memories and his emotions. Although he remembers all things, he no longer holds the emotional energy, so his body no longer reacts and responds. Even if he remembers what happens before, and he can with great detail now, he's learned to do this, he no longer suffers because he is no longer connected. His body is no longer connected to the actuality of what was. It's in the actuality of what is. And so fear no longer functions automatically based on the memory of what was before. And much of what you call this PTSD is simply the reactivation of memories, and the individual awareness is not fully versed in the process of learning to make that distinction between what was and what is, and the body cannot make that distinction itself. Your body cannot make that distinction between what you hold in your mind and what is happening right now. So what you may have in your mind may be from many years ago, but your body cannot make that distinction. And you have to teach it how to liberate its attachment to that memory, to alter and shift and change the emotional energy. We have brought through information, a process, a program that we teach through this one. It is called the 102 Masterclass that they've created. And now you can go and see that and go through that process and and learn to train your mind and body to serve you. Learn to liberate old emotions from that body. Learn to liberate old memories from your mind, for they are simply memories. Wow. Thank you for that question, Sophia. Really, really appreciate that. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Michael. Wow. Yeah, Sophie is asking, I read that MDMA blocks the sensation of fear. Does it assist us in ascension, or can it expose our body in danger? Absolutely. MDMA blocks certain receptors in the brain. Again, I'm not a medical doctor. I don't know a great deal about this, but I can tell you this, that anytime you have to use a substance to change your body's state, you're now depending on something outside of you to act as that which you need to operate as for your mind and body yourself. The ability to cultivate the ability to liberate fear from your own mind and body. Yeah. Let us just say this to you. Your ability to alter and change the quality of energy, that substance that you call emotion, your ability to do this must be cultivated deliberately and consciously. The state of bliss that you seek to experience can be established as an act of your own intentional consciousness, that you can activate and stimulate a vibration of bliss in your mind and body when you understand that process of creation, that you are able to harness, alter, and change qualities of energy in the shape and form of emotions from one state into another, so that you can take the energy of fear from the perspective of your being and alter that energy into love. You can literally convert one energy into another. This substance called emotion can be changed from one energy to another. But many of you are finding yourself running out and getting a drug or a pill or a drink or something to try and change what you're feeling internally, rather than recognizing and cultivating your ability to alter and change energy within you as an act of your will. But that is something we will discuss at another encounter with you. We want to wish you all much love. Please understand that your body is not who you are. Your thoughts are not who you are. Your emotions are not who you are. Those three things are instruments that you utilize in cultivating your ability to create and manifest an experience of life in this physical dimension. They are instruments. Emotion, thought, and matter are instruments that you can learn to utilize from within yourself to generate a creative experience that can be quite wondrous and miraculous. We wish you all much love. Have yourselves a beautiful day. Bye for now.